All right, what is going on, guys? It is the endorsement, and we're doing a little tutorial today on how I make my YouTube thumbnails. Do a little Google search right here. I go into PicMonkey, and I click on a link right there. Power of the internet. There you go. So there's a couple of my recent ones. I go down to the bottom over here, and it's the YouTube thumbnail template. So I click on that. So it's sized perfectly, and it brings up the workstation. I take this little X right over here off. It's give me more room, and I disable the align and snap option. Go right up to the photos, add a photo, go to the computer where I already have a screenshot from my video, and it'll pop up right there. And we're doing the McDonald's McRib. So there's my screenshot. I go right to the, where are we going? To the, oh, I gotta rotate it. So I go to edit, go to rotate. So now here I see which looks better to me. Do I want that or do I want that? I think I stay here. Yeah, I keep it here. All right, so then we go to photos. Now I usually get the logo. So I go here to the computer, and that will take me to, where do I have this? Yeah, my McDonald's logo that pops up right there. So I kind of size this right up, and probably gonna put a border around this. And you know, sometimes I might use the border color of like the M, like that's inside. I think with this one, I go with whites, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I go white right there, but you can do any of these color options. You can make your own color, but white, I want it to kind of stand out right there, so we're gonna go with white. You can pick the thickness, intensity, and angle. Now I kind of figure out a place that I'm gonna put it, and a lot of times that'll change, and I think it changes the further I go. So now I go into the computer to get my logo, actually, the logo that I put my channel logo on every thumbnail, usually up in the right hand corner. Sometimes it just depends on how big the picture is. I'll move that around. So I get that into the right area, and since I have yellow as my background on the YouTube channel, I've been putting the yellow outline on my logo. You'll see it come up right here. Go to yellow. Now I want to make it a little more vibrant, so I'll move it all the way over, and that's kind of perfect for the yellow that I'm looking for. Adjust the thickness and just give it kind of a little pop on the outside right there with the thickness. So what's next? So now what I sometimes do is I'll go and get the logo for the product. Oh, here I'm just kind of making the picture larger to kind of center it the way I want it to. The next step's going to be putting the name of the product in, and a lot of times, most of the time actually, I'll use the actual advertising for the product that I'm reviewing. I like to have the authentic logo or wording for the product. For the McRib, since it is so basic, what I wanted to do with this one is kind of search right here for McRib and kind of bring up the font. And McDonald's has that kind of basic font right here. And I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I find the McRib is back for 2021. You can see there's probably other years right there. McRib is back in cursive. McRib sandwich, that's not McDonald's. And I think it's this one over here on the right. The McRib is back. That's the one I kind of click on. And that's the basic font that McDonald's usually uses, with the capital letters and the lowercase letters. There's an older McRib is back right there. And there's an it's back kind of right there. November 2nd, so that's obviously not this one. That was probably a couple of years ago. So I think what I try to do is get as close as I can with the font. So I get the text right there. Type in McRib, I think. Yeah, McRib. There we go. Look at that. So McRib, obviously too thin, plus I went all caps. So as you can see, they have the capital M, small c, capital R, small I, B. Riv, no. McRib. So obviously that needs to be a little thicker. So now you're going to see me kind of test out many options to get the exact, or as close as I can get to the exact font. It's just my personal attention to detail. It's what I do. I love making these thumbnails. There's one McRib is coming. You can see it's the same font. And up there, there's the box that I got. It's the same box that I got this year. So we're just kind of checking things out here and kind of going through a bunch and seeing what looks the best. And I think what happens here is I don't hit the right one. And I should probably have these memorized by now. I've done McDonald's so much and used the same font so much. I think that's going to be a close one that we come back to. But yeah, so we just kind of check all these different ones till we kind of get it right. But like I said, most of the time I'll find the actual advertisement. Well, they'll make a special kind of advertising logo. And then I will get that, find the best one that I can, and then I take the background out of that, and then I kind of mock that one up and fit it into the thumbnail. But because this one is so basic, it's just the lettering, there's no need to make a PNG, file for this. What I'm just gonna do is, kind of go through and find as close as I can to the actual McRib. So yeah, this is what we're doing. So this is the process. And I like doing this. I actually like making the thumbnails almost more than I like filming, like making the actual video. And I know what I'm looking for here with McRib. The dot above the I is a square. So as soon as I see one that's not a square, I'm like, okay, I know that's not it. So obviously that one's close, but it's got a bunch of different lines and such. But yeah, this is the process, and I like doing it. I love doing it, actually. Just kind of making some art out of it. So here I think might be the one. As you can see, I think I've got it. The MC Rib. Sounds like an 80s rapper name, MC Rib. But yeah, I think this is the one I go with, possibly. This does look like it might be the one, but I'm still, triple checking and making sure, going down. I already know that a lot of these towards the bottom, I don't know why I even clicked on that one, rookie move. But I know the ones on the bottom here from using PicMonkey so much that these are all are some like random looking text. So yeah, just kind of going. I'm back to just checking out a bunch. I don't know why I went off of it. I think I did have it a couple options ago. And these are kind of hitting the end right there. So now I'm going back up. I'm like, okay, was it this one? So yeah, it's this whole big process. And again, I'm just stressing that this might actually be the one. Yeah, I think that is the one I end up going with. You see me going back and forth yeah. So this is the one I'm gonna go with. So what happens here after I've got the logo or the wording, I want to figure out the best way I can get it to pop on the thumbnail. But let's get the color. So now I want to match this color as close as I can to the M in McDonald's. So that takes a little bit. So you go up with the yellow and the orange a little bit. So I think I go into orange a little, maybe not. Maybe I stay here and kind of get that to where I think is about, what the color of the M is. And then we go to an outline here. I use outline most of the time. I think at the end of this, I don't use an outline because I think I end up outlining it in white, if I remember correctly, and I don't love it. So I'm trying it in red right here first. And again, this is just trial and error, what I, kind of envision. Sometimes I start something and, it doesn't end up being the final. So here is something I sometimes do where I'll put something in the bun and I'll go here to fade, and I fade it so it's not so much sticking out. You can still see the bun, but you can make out what we're doing, the McRib. But I didn't like this. I definitely know I don't go with this, but I'm still trying it because I want to see, okay, is this gonna work? Now I'm actually getting it back, and I say, okay, I didn't like it in the bun. let's put it down here. All right. And I know I didn't like it there, so let's get it back up here because, you know, it kind of flows. McDonald's McRib. Oh no, now I'm having second thoughts. This is it. This is the process. You're seeing it in live time. So make the McDonald's logo a little bit bigger, kind of center it. And yeah, so this is what we're doing here. So where am I going now? Oh, okay, so a lot of times I'll do background that goes behind the lettering to make the lettering kind of pop out so it can be read easily, especially on the page, my YouTube page, where the thumbnail is going to be smaller. So this is one I use a lot, so I actually will size this up, kind of bring it over and get it right to the bottom. And then what I'll do is I'll send it to the back, and then I want to see what it looks like. Is it going to make the words pop? So I go up here, and I'm obviously, yeah, I don't know what my delay was there, so I kind of move it all the way to the back, and then I move it one up, so now it's behind McRib, so you can see it kind of have McRib pop a little bit more, but I'm not loving that. I already know I'm not loving it, and watching it back right now, I'm not loving that. So now I said, okay, what about red? Because now, all right, white, no, now I'm gonna fade it, now gray, black. So I'm trying just a bunch of things and seeing what I personally like the best. I was leaning to the white because it kind of just, you know, fades and kind of blends right in. I don't know why I went to pink or what I was doing there, but back to the red because of the colors for McDonald's. Black. Yeah, I'm still kind of trying to, you know, decipher where I'm going to go with this. And a normal thumbnail will take probably 10 to 12 minutes, maybe 15. Normally, this one I think total recording time was 22 minutes. I'll edit it a little bit for this video. But I think this one took me 22 minutes to make. It's the Pride make. It's what I like to do. I don't mind taking the time to do it. The thumbnail is an important fixture of these videos, and you know, you want someone to look at the thumbnail and click on your video. So now I just got rid of I got rid of, you know, the wording for the McRib, even though I know I'm going to come back to it. So now I had an idea was, okay, how about it's back, because that's the basis of this video, the whole point of the video that I made. So now I'm like, okay, maybe it's back is going to work up here. All right. And then I'll have to put McRib down below. But oh, how about this? I put it in the bun, and now I fade it. And I like it. I know I like it. As soon as I see it, I know I like it. So I said, all right, I'm going to keep it there. Now I just got to figure out what I'm going to do with McRib. And then I also had a thought that I was going to be like overrated, because that was also what I kind of talk about in the video. Is the McRib overrated? Even though I know I'm probably in the minority, most people like it. So right there I copy and paste so it's the same font, so I don't have to mess around and find it again. Very simple procedure to make sure it's the same font. Now I do the McRib again. Oh yeah, so here's my thought process. I was like, McNo thanks instead of the McRib. So this is the process. I just like think of things. Is it gonna work? Calling the sandwich the McNo thanks. So this is something you never saw because it never made the final cut. LOL. That was for you guys because I knew I was recording this. So now we go back to the McRib. And where do you think I'm going with this? You think I'm going up the top? You think I'm going bottom left? You know, now I thought let's make it real big, but not try to cover the product. I hate covering the product. You want people to see the product. And I said, oh, okay, that might work there. It just leaves a lot of open space at the top, even though I got the eyes right there, which I've done for like 6 years. One of the originators, I'm just gonna say it. Look back at my early thumbnails back in the day. So now here, I just like this. As soon as I put it up and it kind of matches with the McDonald's logo, kind of centers it, there's just something about the way that looks there. So then I got off of the other background and decided a more like solid background is going to work a little bit more. So I kind of use the same rounded edges as the McDonald's logo, move it to the back, and then I'll move it one up. And now, yeah, so obviously that pops a lot more, but I don't like the black, obviously. So we're going to put an outline around that, kind of match the McDonald's logo to the left, get the thickness right, and obviously I'm going to make this white because I want to kind of match the one to the left with the McDonald's logo. So yeah, so now the color comes in, the red, obviously that red looks a little too pink, so I go up here and I start moving it around, and I'm trying to match the red with the red to the left as much as possible. I don't get too crazy with it, like it has to be perfect, but I'm seeing if I like the way this looks. So now I move back because I think it was a little too close, and I kind of just center it a little bit. I think I end up shortening it a little bit, if I remember correctly. I thought it was just a little too big. So right here, I'm just kind of messing around with it. And I think, yeah, and so now the outline, instead of that red, I go with the white because now it's on a red background. And I'm like, all right, so let's take a look at that. So at first I like this, but then as you'll see in a little bit, like I go back to look at the picture of the McRib that does not have an outline. And I think I get rid of the white outline. So right there, I actually faded some of the red so it's not so dark, and you know, kind of mute it a little bit. And now now that it's muted, the color changed a little bit. So now I'm trying to make the muted, faded background be as red as the one to the left. And I don't know if you could tell already, I think I end up changing the color of McRib because I think it's too yellow right now and it needs to have a little bit more of a shade of orange. So yeah, like I said, you're seeing this as I do it, and maybe it'll give you a little better understanding how I make these thumbnails, obviously, because I'm showing you how I make them, but also give you an idea of the time and the effort that I put into every thumbnail. I just don't throw it together. Like I said, it's not for everyone. There's some people out there who just, you know, will put something up or put the same one up each time, and I'm okay with that. You know, everyone's got their thing, but I'm a creative person and I like making these. And, you know, if you want your video to be seen, you know, I feel it's something, you know, everyone should do. You should want to make a thumbnail that people want to click on. So yeah, so right here, it's just too yellow. So I'm like, okay, let's kind of match it as best I can. So I'm going to just kind of move this around and get it to be a little more orange. And I think if I remember as well, I just think it's too big compared to its back being so big. So I think I end up right here. I might shorten it a little bit. Is this what I'm doing here? Yeah, I'm gonna make it smaller, but I'm still gonna center it. I like to keep everything, you know, kind of centered. So I'm gonna center it right in the middle of the, you know, McDonald's logo. And I'm trying to decipher how long I want it to go here. And then obviously I'll have to shorten the lettering, make it smaller to fit in there. So yeah, now to me that's better. You know, having the McRib be smaller than its back, you're still knowing what that is. You know, even by looking at it, you know what it is. But there's the McRib kind of matching the McDonald's logo, and you're having the big its back faded in the bun. So it's basically conveying everything the video is, you know, going to talk about. It's me talking about the McRib being back. It's the McRib. It's McDonald's. And now right there, I take the outline off because I didn't like the white outline. It was kind of like, I don't know, it's just something I didn't like. Plus, I think I go back to the Google search and I see that the McRib does not have an outline. So I put it back to look and say, okay, maybe if I really make it thin. And I said, nah, I don't even like that. So I totally take it off. Maybe I don't go back to Google search, but I think I did go back to Google search. And what am I gonna do here? I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I doing here? Oh yes, okay. So now that bottom left, section is a little bit, oh, actually, no, I don't think I put anything in the bottom section. So yeah, so I referred to this video as a public service announcement, so PSA. A lot of times I'll put the word review under my logo up there on the right. For this one, I match the color and then I shrink it, which makes the outline a little thicker, which I like. And PSA, so it's an endorsement PSA, public service announcement for all the people in the know. So not a review per se. I reviewed the McRib 5 years ago. Yeah, and if you know my channel, watched it enough, you know my feelings on the McRib. So this is, I think, done, or just about done. This is what we're dealing with. Public service announcement, McRib, it's back. Got the item front and center, and yeah, I don't think I add anything else. Do I add something in the bottom left? Yes. All right. So it is a public service announcement, which I have this in one of my files. So I bring up the public service announcement logo, and now I want to put some shadow around that, minimize that, and the thickness goes down to about 8. And I think I tried black, don't like it, go to white, nice. Just makes it look a little more, I don't know, finalized. Nice little logo. And again, everything, I'm very particular. You'll see me move this around, I move it up, I move it down. It's not just throw it over there. I like it centered. I like it to kind of look the way my mind is seeing it, if that makes sense. So as you can see, this is a process. This changed many times. And this is PicMonkey. I think it's $9.99 a month. That might be what it is. Yeah, and it's definitely worth it. And I think this is the final product. So I go to download, I think right now, and then I have a couple extra steps I'll show you. I don't know why I'm going to share. Oh yeah, I had some issues, I remember. My recording software was blocking it, so I couldn't see. So there it is, JPEG, download, and that downloads down there. So now I bring it up in Photos. This is a 2-step process. Again, I'm very particular with my thumbnails. I go to Edit and Create, and I'm just kind of tightening up the picture now. So I go to Adjustments. I just have a thing where I put vignette 1, even though I don't want a vignette. It doesn't really do anything, but it's like a superstition. So I do that there. Clarity, I kind of move over. For some reason, you can't see the numbers. Numbers usually come up. Oh, it's over to the right, that's why. And I kind of move, and the picture in this, program only adjusted a little bit with the color, light, and clarity. So I kind of go with the light, a little bit dark, and I always do this process before I put it into the final program. So I save this, and now I go to the final step. So again, when it's done in PicMonkey, I just don't call it a day. I like to tighten up the colors and tighten up the picture. So now I bring it up in this program, which I'm drawing a blank on the name of it. Oh yeah, Photo Director, it's right up there on the right. And I used either this, I use Essential, which did that, or I go to Scenery and try Blue Skies, which I usually is my go-to. Sometimes Bright and Vivid, but that was like a little too bright for me. So go back to Blue Skies. I like it, but let me see Essential, because Essential is one of my favorites, Color Enhancement. And I think I go with Color Enhancement, or did I go with Blue Skies? I think maybe Blue Skies on this one. Yeah, Blue Skies. So I go to File, I go to Save Photo As, and there is the final thumbnail. The process is over. Like I said, this one took about 22 minutes. And yeah, there you go.